Atmospherically, this movie is as close to a Western as you can get, you know, without playing up the tumbleweeds and the horses. And we have a very small town with, in a sense, a cattle baron coming through, if you would. You know, in this case, he's a drug kingpin. That's probably the modern day equivalent to a robber baron. Okay. And so Arnold, when he arrives, there's a lot of the baggage of his past is that he's a guy who succeeded in a lot of dire circumstances in film. You know, you're kind of counting on him, and then you're seeing just how outmanned and outnumbered he is, and so you begin to wonder, is this going to be the last cattle drive for him, you know?
지킨다는 의미에서 되게 매력적으로 다가왔던 스토리였고, 그리고 아주 테크놀로지한 것들을 되게 아날로그한 방법으로 막는다는 이러한 소재도 되게 감명 깊었고 되게 해보고 싶었던 그런 내용이었어요.
It's a simple story we're telling, and we wanted a director who makes the simple feel rich. And he does that in every movie, and his process is a very organic process. So the movie has a texture and a truth to it that very few people could bring to that.
Kim Jee-woon, as a director, when I saw his movies, it was extraordinary. Fantastic director, very, very talented, and I always wanted to work with talented directors.
It's the first time he's doing a movie in the States, and I'm very excited. That was a big reason I wanted to do the film as well. I saw the good, bad, and the weird, and it's just, he shoots an amazing action film.
I think he's a visionary, and there are a number, but there are very few great filmmakers, you know, that really have a voice and that have a distinct style, and I think more importantly, a distinct look at the world.
Just so much going on, and the tone is just spot on, and there's humor, which you don't see a lot in action films.
Where you laugh in the middle of the movie, but you're also frightened, you're intense, and terrific in some instances and all that.
What he's done is he's made the movie have all those elements, and yet, because it's one man's vision, they all unify as opposed to feeling like they're elements that are fighting each other.
Torrance, why don't you take the two and block off Alsamora? Figgy and I, we're gonna go and warn the civilians.
Arnold and I, before he read the script, we were talking about, was there something that would be good for him? And this was one of the scripts I mentioned because I think it allows Arnold to come back to his screen in a different way, and yet there's enough of what we love about Arnold in it. So we're not asking the audience to suddenly go from Terminator to Shakespeare, but we are asking them to take a journey from that point that you're used to him in. And I think that's a great thing for him in this moment where he can redefine who he is.
Now, I picked this movie because it was a fantastic script. The story was great, it had intensity, it had drama, it had a lot of action, which I love, and which my fans expect me to deliver.
아놀드는 이미 헐리우드에서 모든 걸 다 이룬 사람이고, 나는 이제 헐리우드에 막 도착해서 무언가를 이뤄하려고 하는 사람이고, 그래서 너무 그런 어떤 큰 차이가 나는 사람과 일을 하게 돼서, 그렇지만 아놀드를 만나보고 그리고 그 캐릭터를 같이 분석하면서 내 생각과 동일하다는 것을 느끼게 됐고, 근데 그 내 생각은 뭐냐면은 우리가 생각하고 있는 그 터미네이터의 이미지가 아니라 자연 그대로의 나이를 보여주는 평범한 사람의 어떤 느낌을 가진 그런 인물로 보여지기를 원했었는데.
You don't give up easy, do you? You're right. This is my home.
In some ways, it's less about him as an individual hero and more about him as a leader hero.
He is back, definitely. You know, he's older now, but he's pretty damn good shape, and he's kicking ass, man. He's really, really good in it.
And cut. You know, you do what you do. You're an entertainer, you're an actor, you work in this business. But believe me, sometimes you show up on a project and there he or she is, and it's like, wow. I've grown up watching this person, and here I have the wonderful opportunity of sharing the screen with them.
It's so surreal being in scenes with Arnold. Yesterday we were doing this scene that takes place in the sheriff's station, and he says, you know, we are the last stand.
This is it. We are the last stand.
And I just caught myself staring at him for a second, and then I was like, oh shit, it's my line. It's just weird, because you know, you grow up watching this man, and then you're face to face with him, and sometimes it can be quite intense.
Ray, let it go.
I can't.
It's a unique chance for him to come back and show the rest of the world that he's really an awesome actor too, not just sort of a stereotype action guy.
Okay, guys, cover me!
And whenever he does action, he does it differently than any other action hero.
I remember as governor when I visited movie sets. And I would go to this one movie set one time where one of the actors was hanging upside down on a harness. A friend of mine asked me, says, don't you miss this? And I said, no, I just cannot see myself ever doing that again. Well, sure enough, in this movie, I'm hanging upside down in a harness.
There was a scene designed where Arnold comes out onto a rooftop and basically tackles Ponytail, the Ponytail character, off the roof, and they go down and break through an awning to the ground. And we wanted to put Arnold into that as much as we possibly could. So we built out a rig that we could put the actors on, and we had Arnold tackle them and take them right off the edge of the roof. I mean, it was pretty cool, and Arnold was so game to do it, you know. I can't say that if I was Arnold, I'd say have my stunt double do it. But he was game, man. That's Arnold.
I was back on a harness, and I was back in an action movie where from the beginning to the end, I was punching, I was shooting, I was running, I was climbing, I was falling.
How are you, Sheriff?
Old. And it was from the beginning to the end, all action. And I thought that I'm gonna ease my way into the action. That was good.
It felt good getting, you know, having the opportunity to work with Arnold in his return to the screen and maybe do some things with him that were a little bit different than he hasn't, you know, done in a while.
There's a new bit of choreography. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Cortez stuck the knife in your thing.
Right.
Turns.
Right.
Shoves it in.
Right.
Takes off his
Takes
jacket.
Yeah.
Throws his jacket on you. Peel it off. Boom. He switches.
Right.
Wham. Wham. Now we're close to this bridge rail.
Right.
You slam his head into the bridge rail. Elbow. Elbow.
Got it. I can throw the punch.
Okay.
So I can do that.
Okay, good.
And I can do this and the snap or whatever. I can do all that.
Okay, all good.
Let's see how tough I am, if I can handle this. Ow, ow. Push it in. Let's see. Ow. Okay, focus.
Yeah, and don't worry about how long it takes to take the foot off.
Jesus.
Top to bottom. All righty, once again, please.
Arnold brings, you know, a lifetime of experience as an action star, so he gets it. You know, we come in, we don't have to tell him where to throw the punch to sell it. We don't, you know, we just tell him you're gonna throw a right or left. He's good, great, and he nails it.
You want to come straight down? If you want to loop in, we just want to get him to cave a little bit. So
I would say straight down. This is easier for the shoulder. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. No worries. Good.
It was a new way of sort of thinking for Arnold. It wasn't your traditional kind of barroom brawl sort of thing. We wanted to bring a technical aspect to that fight as a byproduct of you know, the director's request that Cortez has this ability or has this ability. And so putting Arnold into that environment and getting him to work through it was, we felt something a little bit different for him maybe.
And cut.
This is what you have to do, is you sneak up on the stunt coordinators and you're listening very carefully how they plot out the next move, how tired the actor should be, how energetic the villain should be, what kind of stab they're using, how does the makeup deal with the cut, how does special effects deal with the knife sticking into the thigh, and all those kind of things. So you sneak up on them as they talk. Not the director is going to talk in Korean, and then they have a translator translate us in English, and then they have an English translator translate me in Austrian, and then Schnitzel is going to do the action. So, I mean, I'm not going to say any more.
And then grab it as you fall.
I was reading the script, and I had to stop and say,
God, I'm gonna fight against Governor. I'm gonna fight against Terminator. I'm gonna fight against Arnold. It was like I grew up watching his films. He's part of the action cinema history. So I feel so honored to be here and to be part of this movie and to fight against him.
You know, one of the great things about this movie is the number of good actors that are in the movie. It's really fantastic.
It was unbelievable if you think about that. Johnny Knoxville, Forrest Whitaker, Luis Guzmán, Jaimie Alexander, Rodrigo Santoro, Genesis Rodriguez, Eduardo Noriega, and each one of them has great acting talent, you know, from the comedy point of view, but also intensity and reaching deep down inside.
Well, I play Deputy Sarah Torrance, and she's a very feisty, very fiery type of girl, which I tend to play a lot. As soon as I read the script, I was like, you know, she's funny. She's got all the elements that I wish I had all the time.
Hey, what are you planning to do?
Louis Dinkum is the owner of the Firearms Museum, and I'm kind of like the town screw-up, but very lovable, very handsome, as you can see. And when the bad boys come to town, good guys are a little outgunned, so they have to come to me. And I got all the firearms and grenades, and that's when it gets real exciting. Not that it hasn't been exciting for the 60 minutes prior to that, because, I mean...
This one right here.
What do you think this is, a fucking crusade?
Oh, shit. You could never have enough balls for this job, you know? I play this guy named Figgy, who's a deputy sheriff. I'm like the OG of the cast. Gotta represent. You know, I just got this old-timers kind of philosophy, although I'm not that old. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm in charge at times, but then Ray shows up and I have to transfer that, you know?
Woo! You're good! You're not good enough!
My name is Burrell. I'm not sure if I have a first name, Larry, I think. It's a fun character because he's sort of comic relief and also he's a mean son of a gun. So it's sort of the inverted character of Arnold's character.
Death doesn't come when you expect it. Soy Eduardo Noriega y tengo la suerte de interpretar a Gabriel Cortés. He's the bad guy, the badass in this movie. He's already stereotyped. I didn't want to play that way. I just wanted to give some reality to the character. So I just needed to give personality. I just needed to give a realistic performance to this character.
And as I said, it's unlikely that it'll be coming your way, but I'm gonna send over a SWAT team from El Centro just in case.
I play John Bannister, who is the head of an FBI unit. I'm sort of in the cerebral portion of it. I'm making plans that don't pan out, but they're good plans. The best laid plans don't always come to fruition.
물론 그래서 이제 나는 배우들한테 무척 사랑을 줬고 또 배우들은 그 사랑을 자기가 받고 있다는 것을 알고 또 그 사랑이 또 화면을 통해서 또 나한테 그 모니터를 통해서 그 사랑에 대한 보답을 하는 것 같고.
He's very anal about going over each character has its room of the main cast. They should have something unique in their character.
It's like the first day I got to set, he goes like, a scar right here. That's what I got. That's not me. That's Martinez.
Really like the way he looks at the work and the performance and how he interjects and the things he comes in to just push the character in the right direction. And he has a clarity on where he thinks the character is going and when they should evolve.
Which is astonishing since he doesn't speak English.
But I gotta say that, you know, they told me he doesn't speak English, but I'm gonna tell you right now that he understands about every word you say.
One of the astonishing things I have watched on the set is he has such an understanding of what the character is doing in each scene that he is able to tell by verbal emphasis and body language where he wants the actor to be.
그러니까 나는 이제 가장 첫 영어 영화 또 첫 헐리우드 영화를 하면서 가장 두려웠던 것은 언어였었는데 막상 와 보니까 언어는 그렇게 어렵지 않았어요.
지금까지 다 한꺼번에 다 갈 수 있을 것 같다고?
네, 115까지요. We'd like to go ahead and actually
The translation part of it is complicated because for me, when he's like telling me stuff and talking about the scene, when I'm watching him, I gather pretty much what he wants me to do. It's very clear to me. His intention is so strong that it's very clear what he wants me to do, how, the way he wants me to perform it, some of the delicacies when I'm over here. And then when the translator comes in and talks, it just adds that extra layer for me to make sure that I'm clear and specific in my way of communicating, which may not be as clear as his.
그 세 개의 공간들 를 어떤 그 차별화하고 어떤 그것을 다룰 때마다 약간 다른 스타일로 만들게 됐어요. FBI 공간은 뭔가 이제 위기 상황이 와서 어수선하고 뭐 그렇지만은 뭔가 계속 뭐 작전을 짜야 되고 생각을 해야 되고 고민을 해야 되고 그래서 거기도 동시에 차갑지만 코테주 공간보다는 환하고 뭔가 이제 스마트한 분위기를 유지를 하려고 했었고 그리고 그와 이제 콘트라스를 이뤄서 그 작은 마을의 어떤 느낌은 되게 평화스럽고 또 단조롭지만은 또 이제 소소한 아기자기한 어떤 느낌들이 그 서민적인 느낌을 주기 위해서 또 컬러도 뭐 어떤 옐로우나 또는 오렌지나.
Town of Somerton in the script needed to be it's a border town. But it also needed to represent, and this was kind of the requirement of the director, it needed to represent small town America. But on a logistical point of view, it needed to be a town that would let us stay there.
We had to really own it and close it down and have it for the entire time of our shoot. And it's very difficult to go into a main street of any town and just incapacitated.
Why are you hiding?
Literally we have full-on firefights, gunfights, machine gun fire, buses swinging around, car crashes, explosions. You can come in and do that for 2 days. You can't do it for 18 days.
Leon, stay away. Just so everybody knows, you've got to ratchet around the corner to this pick point to the car. When the car goes, it's a half a wrap around. It's going to go up in the air, over the car, land that way. Once it gets past a certain point here in its rotation, this cable is free. This cable will have some tension on it. It'll snap back just a little bit. Rio's back there with the RPG. He's got some eye protection. He's going to be fine.
The basic gag is we're going to fire a RPG down a wire. It'll hit the car. The car will go up in the air, somersault, fly over this other car and land on the other side. In the process, we'll also have an explosion in the car. We'll have some glass flying, some bits of material flying off. It'll essentially look like an RPG just blew this car up in the air and blew it apart. So in this particular situation, we have a specific place you want the car to land. So what we're going to do is we have a what they call a ratchet at the other end of this cable. We'll apply a lot of pressure very quickly and pull this cable 20 or 30 feet really quickly up into the air. It's attached to the car on the other side with hooks. So what'll happen is the car will actually, like this, it'll actually get pulled from here up, over, and that'll start to somersault off. It'll also flick in the air really quickly. So we literally just take that car and just throw it in the air like this.
The area that we used, the town of Belen, it's no longer sort of where the town does business anymore. And so this section of Belen was left basically just standing.
There were only two significant buildings that were standing here, which is the two red buildings there, the Hotel Belen and the diner. The diner, of course, was not a diner, it was a boarded up building, and the entire building was condemned.
We took 6 vacant lots and put things on the lot. A couple of them we built some storefronts, and a couple of those we put a tire store, we put a church.
Our hero corner in our movie is what you see right behind us, and these are all facades. And in order to build in some of the history and also bring it up to what it is currently, I sort of created a mishmash of styles from the roadside motel to the old turn-of-the-century building to the glommed-on laundromat. I didn't want it to really feel very precious because it needs to feel like there's history there, that there was the presence of the border here.
And it's a town on the decline, basically, also. But the town sheriff would go to great lengths to protect that town, even though it is on the decline. And his moral code will not let the town fall to these criminals. And so that creates the basic dramatic structure in the movie.
You don't think, they went and built some town out in the middle of a desert, and no, it feels like a small town, but it really echoes that.
Originally we said, okay, we'll go to Vegas for that sequence and do it in the place where it actually happens. And then you very quickly realize as you get reconnaissance photos back that downtown Albuquerque looks almost identical to that section of Las Vegas. It's the section of Vegas where the people do business, where the citizens live and go to the government offices and all those things. It's not the Strip. We can add the Strip into the background of where we're shooting, and we can make it look so it's 4 miles away, which is where it actually would be in Vegas from that section. And so in working with the city, they were able to allow us to shut the streets down right at 6 p.m. And at 6 a.m., all of our equipment had to be off the streets. And there's no business that gets done between those hours, so it didn't really put anybody out. So that worked out very well for us. But some of the stuff we had to do was rather complex.
지금 여기 그 라스베가스 시퀀스 자체가 우리 영화에서 이 사건이 여기서 포테즈가 탈출했기 때문에 이 영화가 성립이 되는 것 같아요. 그러니까 이 우리 영화의 시작이자 또 모티브고 또 발단이고 그러기 때문에 이 장면이 아주 흥미롭고 그리고 박진감 넘치게 표현이 돼야 될 것 같아요. 그래서 우리 영화가 이야기를 갖게 된 어떤 발단 부분이기 때문에 되게 흥미진진하게 찍어야 되고 그래서 지금 하나하나 지금 세심하게 찍어가고 있어요.
The most CGI that you're going to see out of this entire shot is making Albuquerque look like Las Vegas. As far as a woman riding a magnet, practical. As far as the magnet picking up a van and sending it up over a building, practical. As far as the guy falling out of the van onto the car, the reality is he did it practically. And when we send all 4 people off the building, that's a practical situation as well.
The director, Kim Jee-woon, he envisioned that shot and he wanted it, and we figured out a way to give it to him. So you have to first get permission from the buildings, and then we had to bring in a team that could wrangle that system, and then we had to bring in a team that could put together the rig for what's called the spider cam.
And this was one of the director's requests early on in pre-production that the shot involved cable cam following them as they left and dropping down to street level.
코테지가 짚라인을 타고 저 다른 빌딩으로 내려갈 때 카메라를 뒤에 그 와이어 캠에다 내고 짚라인을 같이 쫓아 내려가서 근데 이것이 내려가서 인물은 멀어지고 카메라는 다시 이렇게 돌면서 그 라스베가스의 타운들을 이렇게 골몰해주고 그 밑에서 받아가지고 다시 그 카메라를 스테이캠으로 옮겨서 또 밑에서 움직이는 인물들 막 다시 쫓아가는 장면 이런 장면들이 이번에 이제 그 코테지의 탈출 장면을 되게 스타일리시하게 또는 새로운 어떤 느낌으로 이제 보여주려고 했던 장면들이죠.
So the day of, we did it the last day we were there. The day of, you were just hoping and praying that all of this is actually going to work.
And what complicated, I think, the scene was that the rooftop chosen as their departure point, it wasn't your traditional 90-degree flat roof. It had there was a parapet wall, and we had to do about a 30-foot build out up to an area where we could actually put a takeoff platform in place.
3, 2, 1, go.
And from there, they left. The four people left the building simultaneously on a 250-foot-long zip line that was about 80 feet in the air. It's not just about guy going from A to B, it's about dialing in that camera position and the distance between the camera and the men and the timing of ground elements and aerial elements, and it really made for what is a complex shot.
That's kind of what's great about this film is that he's a very visionary director in the shots that he wants to do, and in one shot it tells the story.
I think the director was really happy with that piece.
Just by the nature of it, it's a little bit of a road movie because it's a car chase making a run from Las Vegas to the Mexican border.
일단 내가 그 차를 촬영하기 전에 직접 한번 타본 적이 있었는데 내가 직접 운전할 때는 되게 신났어요. 근데 옆에 타면 되게 무섭더라고요.
Ready and action.
I've never thought in my life that a car could have such power. First time I took that car, I was like so scared, like, oh my God, this is a really important, powerful thing in your hands.
엄청 이건 한 마리의 어떤 그 차라기보다는 어떤 그 맹수를 타고 가는 느낌이었고.
It's the fastest car in a straight line purchasable today. There's over 1,000 horsepower.
So you start to think about how do you show that journey and how do you create that kind of an action movie, which this is going to be one of those action movies.
So guys, the goal is that the Corvette actually comes down the road, spins around, is now going backwards on the road. He's going to slam on his brakes, and ideally the SUV comes up and uses him as a pipe ramp and goes up to the air, twists over and lands on his head. So we've got a pipe ramp there. The Corvette is parked next to it. We're going to basically bring the SUV up. We're going to try and center that so that it comes on the far side of the pipe ramp, which will basically not touch the actual Corvette if possible. And we're going to pretend it hits it and just go up and over. Hopefully we won't hurt the Corvette, but if we do, we've got more. Pretty much that's that. We did a myriad of tests backwards and forwards to try and find out where it's lined up. We have to weld under the vehicle so that the ramp doesn't get caught up underneath the car. We have to build the ramp a certain way. We calculate the angles. We calculate the little bump on the end we call a kicker to give it that twist at the end there so it rolls over. We also have to put the Corvette in a certain spot. We actually lifted the car up originally and measured the height so that the wheels of the real car, the SUV, wouldn't hit the Corvette and take out the Corvette because we only have a limited number of those. We also built a little thing that goes under the car so that as the SUV looks like it was hitting it, the front of the Corvette would drop down to look like it drove over it. I'm pleased that it all seemed to work and we didn't damage the Corvette, which is always important. And we destroyed this, which is great, so we did a great job.
This movie feels different. And yet there's still plenty of eye candy and there's still plenty of stunts. There's a lot of things that you're gonna instinctually like, but then there's all these elements you're like, wow, how did those get into there? So I think it's the richness of the stew that's been put together.
This movie has so many awesome elements. It's got vulnerability, it's got gunfire, explosions, cool cars, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, it's so well-rounded. It's hard to put into words.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's return to action films. After what, 9 years? He's gonna bring it.
He said it. He would be back, man. So this is it. This is the last stand.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It's a very daring comeback for a guy called Arnold Schwarzenegger. We around him is just proud to be part of his team.
We meet on Main Street in 5. And we need as many vehicles as possible for the blockade.
I'll drive old Henrietta here.
Do you have stupid names for all your shit?
Only the shit I love.
I think what the movie's going to offer is a confection and a collection of very unusual characters, a very fresh take on a genre.
근데 외국 사람이 미국 감독들보다도 더 미국적인 감성 또는 미국적인 오락, 어떤 미국적인 즐거움 이런 것들을 찾아낸다는 것이 근데 그거는 그냥 내가 어떤 의미에서는 한국적인 정서와 또는 어떤 세계적인 미국적인 정서 또는 어떤 그 보편적인 그 뭐 세계적인 정서들을 갖추고 있다라는 것은 내가 비헐리우드 다른 미국인이 아니기 때문에 그것이 가능한 것이 아닌가 그것을 통합적으로 이뤄낸 것이 아닌가 생각이 들어요.
We're outside of Albuquerque today in a cornfield, and this cornfield sequence is basically, we've just gone through Somerton. Cortez has made his way through, made a narrow escape through Somerton, and it brings us to this cornfield. So at this point, he's just gotten rid of Agent Richards, and he feels like he's good to go. And Owens comes in from town, and we start to do a big sequence of chasing and crashing that takes place over the next few days through this cornfield.
It's essentially a car movie, even though we spend more time out of the cars than in the cars. So we had to find, the hero show car, one that was believable and one that was cool looking. And Lorenzo di Bonaventura has a great relationship with General Motors.
GM is a great partner in making movies, and they understand the need for us for what we want to do and how we want to do it. So a car company, when they're supporting, they've got to give you 5-6 cars of each kind because we're going to trash them, actually,
We have different vehicles designated for different rigs. We have basically what is a law enforcement pit maneuver that takes place. There's a special rig built for that. different cars have reinforcements on them according to the damage they're going to sustain over the course of the chase.
So the car company really has to believe that you understand their car the way they understand their car. So they have to believe in the movie and they have to believe in the filmmakers, and it's a much more sophisticated relationship than people understand.
He started discussions with them about possibly using the ZR1 vet. And right about the same time, some articles had surfaced that the vet was in a straight line the fastest production car made. General Motors ended up giving us the Camaros, giving us the vets. We had a couple that were pristine, that would be the Hero show cars, which we did not destroy, but the others are basically trashed, mostly from the Cornfield sequence.
It's always fun. You can't wreck too many cars.
Get back from the car, please. Thank you. Here we go. Ready and action.
Well, the Cornfield had a number of challenges, and one of them is that the Cornfield in the script is absolutely adjacent to the town. All of the shots in the town, we had a huge green screen at the bottom of Main Street, and we will put in the Cornfield at the bottom.
Action.
Now, Cortez has to come through the main street in order to get to the canyon.
We had originally thought we'd shoot the Cornfield first, but when you start to look at it, one, you need to find a cornfield. And you need to find a farmer that's willing to sell you his cornfield and hold it as long as we need to hold it for, and sort of help us with whatever equipment we're gonna need, which is cutting roads into the cornfield and other things.
This cornfield was kept for months in order for us to do this chase scene, and so every piece of corn and everything that was there was very valuable.
We bought 24 acres of corn, and that was the fields. That's what we were able to buy, that's what he would give us. A lot of the cornfields that were here were off limits already because the corn was already spoken for. So we did find a farmer who actually goes to market with it, but you gotta really use it smartly, because every time the car goes through it, you have a section that's no good anymore, because you're going through, in the movie, they'll be going through fresh corn. So we did an aerial view of the whole 24 acres, and then we plotted out where we would do each of the different gags so that we wouldn't suddenly find that we run out of corn. That would be the worst.
Now, as I recall, we're going to put that close to the Camaro. Is that not right? We are. I'm going to take off the mirror and slide over there. Okay.
The cars are chasing through cornfields, which is a tough one for us because obviously when you're going through the cornfields, you can only do it once, and then the corn has tracks in it. So it's kind of a high pressure one where you need to get it right quickly.
Cornfield itself is a complicated place, and it's very hard to get a lot of help from visual effects, so you kind of have to do it live. You kind of have to run the cars through the cornfield and do the chase, and see them through rows of corn, and there's a number of things that you need to do to make the sequence work, make it believable.
The geography is a little tough. The weather lately, we're a little late in the season. It's January.
Corn is an amazing crop because it is still standing months after it turned kind of hay color it turns. And so we admitted that it's okay that the cornfield is this color. And then right before we went to it, it snowed, which is a big problem because then it is really, really muddy. And if it's really muddy, the wheels will just spin and you won't be able to mount any kind of a chase in it.
The ground is soft and that weight is an issue. And so we have the sinking of the Corvette, which has been something we've had to overcome a bit. This one we're gonna run all the way. We're gonna get a good lineup. We're gonna get a good speed run, and we're gonna let you shoot. And we're gonna run all the way to the end.
Action.
The way that it's scripted and the vision of the director had a lot of almost gymnastic kind of behavior of the cars, of one car going up on the front of another one.
Basically, there are receivers in the Corvette that allows us to plug in the piece that holds the Camaro on top of it. So with a Gradall giant forklift, we end up picking up the shell of the Camaro. It's been stripped so that it's as lightweight as possible. Primarily just the exterior with a small generator in it just to run the wheel so it looks like it's still in working order. And with the Gradall, we take it and place it up on the special effects rig that they've built to plug into the Corvette. And so the Corvette's responsible for basically free driving with the shell of the Camaro, and Arnold on the hood.
So trying to mount those things inside the cornfield, although it ended up working very well, was very scary to think about. One, because of the mud, and two, is the corn going to keep standing after it keeps raining and snowing and all of those things?
If it's been,
I will go with this tire the way it is. The tire is the way it is, ladies and gentlemen.
now it's going to be boom. Yeah, and we're going to hold you guys tight the whole time, okay? Our primary concern is that we get from start to finish safely. The concern that comes up right after that is that we give the director exactly what he wants, not just from the design of the stunts themselves, but from the camera angles that he wants. Yesterday we had a great shot of Cortez coming around a corner and throwing Richards out of the car, and the way that we were able to pull that off, we towed the Corvette with Cortez driving and had a platform on the side of the vehicle with a stunt girl staged on that platform. So as we come around the corner, the actor is able to reach over, open the door, shove the actress out onto the platform. She's safetied so that she can't get any further than the platform itself. And with that timing, the stunt girl takes her cue and goes rolling out all in one shot as we arm up and give the illusion that the actress is actually the one doing the entire bit. So trying to create the shots that the director either shown us in previs or storyboard or described to us, that's the big deal for us. After that, we get into now the concern of tying the actors in as much as we can, so we're not relying on stunt doubles any more than we need to in order to sell the story.
When it comes to car chases, you let the driving be done by a stunt guy and let a professional driver do that. The rest of it you do.
We're going to hold the whole thing tighter. You guys are going to stay tight the whole time. All right, you'll both separate a bit, come back in, separate a bit. You'll do everything you've been doing.
It is an experience as a driver because you drive through this cornfield and you have this high corn, it's like 10 feet tall, and you have no idea where you are. And the other car is also racing through it, and he may be right next to you. 2 feet away, but you can't see it because of the corn.
Before that, you're just going straight. You're going straight.
I'm not the one who
No, you're going straight. The idea, as far as I understand, is he comes out of nowhere, and then without you seeing him, he just hits you. So you go like this, and then it's back in, and maybe you look over, then he hits you again.
All the rigs we have done in this movie just to shoot the car scenes are amazing. I mean, I've never been in a car with someone up there driving the car. That was the first time I was like a little boy then. Oh my God, are you kidding me? He's gonna drive?
We're gonna bring the speed down a little bit, and Nate's gonna try to be a little more distinct with his motion.
Slide back a little bit?
As best he can.
Sliding back?
You know what I mean? So he's gonna go, let you settle, boom, come in, let you settle, boom, and then we're gonna ride. All right?
We brought in those kind of automated driving systems that sit on top of the car, what we call the pod cars. Sits on top of the car, and then a driver drives it from the top so he can see over the corn where he's going, and the actor can look like he's driving but doesn't need to actually do any driving.
Ready and action.
So it basically allows us to put the two actors in a very controlled environment, do contact with the vehicle, so there's crashing being done between the two of them, and the actors are right in the middle of the sequence, but the vehicles are both being driven by the stuntmen that are up on top in control of the vehicles completely, so it's a good, safe way to put our actors right in the middle of the action.
And as long as you don't see the car from the outside, it looks fantastic. And if you do need to see the car from the outside, then you put in a stunt driver, or the actor drives the car.
And action.
Look it. Oh, fuck. It's really confusing.
Got it. Come on back, Robert.
It was just a lot of fun doing those things and a lot of fun doing all the action, all the stunts and all of this.
Ship, go. Get him.
You know, every day we were there, I was amazed that we were able to get through the day because, you know, the cornfield had dried out from the snow and the rain, but there's still moisture and the tires will still spin.
Son of a bitch!
So it was a constant challenge, but, you know, again, it worked.
Hit it! Cut! Wow! That was good, right?
The Dinkum Firearm and Historic Weapons Museum
That's right.
You got a museum here?
Well, the Dinkum Museum is obviously a very important part of the film, and part of our craft is to be historically correct. So what we did in the museum was we tried to think of what should really be in a museum.
The director wanted something more of an eclectic feel, something spanning of times. So in Dinkum's Armory, picked out weapons that were everything from the Roman Empire to Zulu warfare, to World War II, World War I, also some Japanese, Asian weaponry that was also inside Dinkum's Armory.
Ah! Okay. We're good. Take my picture.
The set deck people did a marvelous job of building up that museum the way someone who was really into it would build a museum if they had that ability.
그러니까 어느 나라를 가든 어떤 그런 오타쿠 성격의 그런 사람들이 있는데 이 사람도 특이하게도 밀리터리에 빠져 있는 그런 오타쿠의 어떤 개성과 그의 어떤 그 특이한 습성과 이런 것들을 그 안에다 옮겨 놓으려고 했었죠. 그래서 그 사람은 그 영화 한 장면에서도 나오지만 거기서 먹고 자고 그 무기들을 보면서 행복해하고 또 그 무기들을 자기가 가지고 있다는 거에 대해서 좀 만족해하고 그 세계에 빠져 있는 사람이라.
I want to be deputized like Frank here. So any damage caused to or by me will be official business of the Somerton Junction's Sheriff's Office. I carry a .50 caliber, which this is the toy one. The real one's much heavier and provides quite a kick when you shoot it.
3, 2, 1.
That one hit me right in the arm.
This is a heavy weapon, you know, and it is a 50 caliber type weapon, the Smith & Wesson 500, the largest, most powerful production handgun on the market today. When we shoot blanks, you don't have as much recoil in it. Sometimes you have to fake it or act that kind of movement with the gun. But either way, it's obviously a very big gun, very big blank, and it comes out looking very impressive on camera.
So this is my gun of choice, but in the museum I have all kinds of things. I have Tommy guns, you know, the old Dillinger machine guns. I have the Vickers gun. I guess it was probably used in WW1 and WW2, I would assume, if they're calling it a Nazi killer. It looks like they had a better machine gun by then, but...
The guns in this movie are crazy. I mean, we've got present-day rifles, we've got machine guns, we've got Uzis.
Everything you need for a party. Oh, I want to hang on to old Georgetta here, seeing as I'm the only one fit to handle her.
Okay, let's go.
Or you can handle her too, Ray, and you too, Frank. You might be able to handle her.
Oh, thanks, Louis.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
The weapons that we decided to pick on as far as the hero actors were a lot more low-tech, more vintage kind of look that we were going for.
And action.
So Jaimie, she's actually running just a bolt-action Mossberg 30-06. She had no training either, so we sat down with her and did some weapons training with her as far as like how a sniper actually operates, moves, pulls, you know, focus and stuff like that.
I've never really worked with guns that much. I'm more of a knife and sword girl. It's been awesome. We have an awesome weapons expert named Brett. We did a lot of on-set training, you know, like you do with any weapon, you know, a certain protocol so you don't hurt anybody. Especially me, because I'm super clumsy. But I do have a handgun, and I also do have a sniper rifle.
Our sheriff, of course, is a law enforcement official, so he winds up with the Remington 870. It's a pump-action shotgun. You can go to almost any law enforcement vehicle in the United States, and you'll probably find an 870 in about 85 to 90% of them. It makes sense that our sheriff, when he reaches for a shotgun, this would be the kind of weapon that he would come up with. If you look at the other stuff that's in the museum, there's stacks of crates that artillery shells used to get carried in. If you look in the background, there's model tanks and little aircraft and things in the background, flags and signage and things like that. There's an anti-aircraft gun that's mocked up in the museum. And obviously they find the Vickers gun in the museum. The Tommy gun comes out of the museum.
Action.
Voila!
Jesus Christ, Louis.
God, what a beauty. Where the hell did you get this?
Vicky, she's my little Nazi killer. My 1939 Vickers gun. My little crazy bitch. Of course, she can't really fire in the legal sense, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I did track down all the missing parts, so she could function theoretically. Of course, that's between us and Jesus. Uncle Sam can't know about that.
That was an actual Vickers machine gun that was built in 1916. It is an actual operating real machine gun. It has actually served in 2 campaigns. This is actually from a company, ISS, and we archive and store weapons just for featured films.
This is one of the first practical machine guns that were used in battle. It's a World War I vintage type weapon. It survived between the wars because of how efficient it was. When people talk about the devil's paintbrush and guys going over the top and running through no man's land, this was the type of weapon that they had to go up against.
The longest time period that it actually ran was for 10 hours straight. Went through over 1 million rounds, changed out its barrel 10 times, and was consistently running that whole time. So it's a very reliable weapon.
It's a water-cooled weapon. This is the water jacket that actually cooled the barrel down. And the belts of ammunition are quite long. They're 9 yards long. And that's where the term, give them the whole 9 yards, comes from. Because when they were shooting out on the battlefield, you would run through a whole belt. That would be 9 yards worth of ammunition. If you want to come over here and take a look at the inside of the mechanism, it's very simple, sheet metal, kind of a box-like construction, and when the mechanism functions, it almost looks like an old sewing machine or an old piece of machinery in the way it feeds the rounds in and out. One of the things about this gun is you can see this when it fires, this actually spins on the outside of the gun as you're firing. So if you have your hands like this, your knuckles get whacked. So there is a prescribed way of firing the weapon, which is kind of back here and keeping your knuckles out of the way. And that was also one of the things that we trained Arnold in doing when we set up the gun.
Not this hand. This hand, to hit it down, the reason why you're doing that is this thing moves this direction.
Yeah.
Right? If you hit it and the gun goes off again, the bolt travels this direction so that the explosion will happen that way and push your hand away.
Keeping in mind that we only fire blanks, they are not shooting projectile down range, we're doing everything in a safe manner, yet we still have to have the mechanism function for it to be believable. So you also get a big muzzle flash coming out of our little muzzle brake at the end there, much more with blanks than you would with live ammunition. But we need that visual impact on camera, again, for that kind of wow factor.
Hey, what about this one?
Ah, Tommy. She fires your standard 45s. In all due respect, ma'am, you look shit hot holding it.
Thanks, Dinkum.
The Tommy gun is also from ISS with all the rest of the weapons that we work with. This is actually another real operating weapon.
This particular Thompson is the model 1928 version. It uses a drum magazine, 45 caliber with 50 rounds in it. It's not really the type of thing that you see very much anymore in law enforcement or in military realm because it's kind of clunky, it's kind of heavy, but gosh, it's classic looking, isn't it?
Oh, that's badass.
We want the guns to work, be safe, and function out on set. So we test fire all of our weapons before we send guns out on set. So we have Brian here today. He's getting ready to test fire one of the Thompsons that Fergie's going to use.
Okay. Okay, weapon's hot.
Weapons clear. Weapons clear. So you can see, again, It looks real. There was an impressive muzzle flash. You can see the shells coming out of it. It actually recoils almost like the live round would make the gun recoil. It gives the actor something to react to, so it looks believable. That's why we really need to have real guns in actors' hands when you want it to look believable, because you can run around and you can generate something with CGI, and there is a spot for that in our craft. But if you really want it to look believable, you have to have the real thing.
현대에 와서 옛날에 그 유명한 총들 또는 어떤 무기들을 사용한다는 것이, 그리고 그것을 현대 무기로 무장한 그러한 그 상대와 그 싸워서 그 무기로, 옛날 무기로 그것을 제압한다는 어떤 설정들이 무척 재밌었고, 옛날 무기들에서 느껴지는 어떤 그 향수라든가, 그리고 현대 무기는 되게 뭔가 이렇게 은밀하고 빠르고 되게 정확하고 하지만은 옛날 무기가 갖고 있는 어떤 통쾌한 어떤 박력과 통쾌한 에너지와 그리고 그 비주얼에 있어서의 어떤 그런 그 직접적인 어떤 느낌들, 이런 것들은 옛날 무기들이 더 재밌었고, 그 옛날 무기를 사용해서 현대 무기의 어떤 그 적들을 상대해서 이긴다라는 어떤 그 설정들이 무척 재밌었던 것 같아요.
You think this is Conan the Barbarian?
I like that fucking guy. He was good.
So here we go. I am on my way to set. It is 6:45 in the morning, which isn't that bad. It's better than the 4:30. This is Robin. Robin is from Texas. She's awesome. Robin drives me because I love her and nobody else. So yeah, so we're on our way, and next stop will be hair and makeup.
Oh, we're rolling. Hello, my name is Johnny Knoxville, and I'm on the set of The Last Stand here in Belen, New Mexico. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm walking to the set to go kill a character called Nameless with a flare gun. All right, here we go.
So yeah, this is our little town. I'm trying to keep this steady, but it's gonna look a little shaky, I guess. There's Brett. Brett's awesome. He gives me many guns to play with, which is great. This is Bobby, who loves me, who dresses me, and makes sure that I look okay all the time, and I like to kiss her on the mouth. Are you warm? So, yes, ma'am, I am super warm. You know me.
I know, hot stuff.
This is our craft truck, which makes me very happy. I do push-ups after and before everything I eat. This is Khalik. He keeps us well fed. All right, who else can we go bug? Let's see, shall we? This is Video Village. That's what we call it. Everybody gets to watch playback here and all that good stuff. So this is where the magic happens on a movie set. And these are two very awesome people, Tommy and Chaeyoon. Chaeyoon, also known as Jacob, also known as the guy who's going to propose to his lovely girlfriend. Why are you getting shorter, Tommy? Oh, and he has bunny ears and a gun belt. And a gun belt. And this is Trina. She's super stunning, and she's also a stunt woman, and she gives me guns. So again, I really like her. Johnny's here. We're propping now.
You ready to get props, sir?
Yes, I'm ready to get propped. So this is all the crap I'm wearing. And the helmet and everything, and it takes about 10 people of the top talent to make me look presentable. And I will take this from you.
It's like the crowning moment.
Yes. So now I'm ready. I just wish it wasn't so cold.
Okay, so we're just gonna come over here and say hi to Johnny. Hi, Johnny.
Hello. Good morning, Jaimie.
Good morning, jackass.
How are you?
Good.
Are
How was
you
your
in
morning?
your regular bright and cheery mood this morning?
Of course. And then there's Tara, the supermodel of a makeup artist. So, how's it going?
Well, now that you're here, so much better.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
Wouldn't you
even
agree,
Dieter.
We complete it.
Thank you very much. So you have to do your best Chewbacca noise.
My best Chewbacca noise?
Yes, you know Chewbacca, the wiki noise.
How does he sound?
Oh gosh. like that.
Well, I can't top that.
Yes, you can.
I can't top that.
You can do anything you put. Okay, that's.
Is that pretty good?
That's kind of.
Yeah. Pretty hot.
It's a little dirty, Johnny. Dieter, your turn.
I've never seen Star Wars.
Oh my God! What is wrong with you people? Okay, try.
Guys, like the
You
end
can
of the
do
good,
it.
bad, the ugly.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
What is with these people?
All right, guess who's the diva? I have not one but two heaters.
And someone standing by with coats.
Mr. Dinkum, do
Don't-
you need your coat,
Don't tell the
sir?
fellas about this.
There's a stunt woman over there that I've worked with for 5 years, and she just hid. That's not funny. Come out. Wait a second. Yeah, I see you. Come here. This is Kylie Furneaux, and she's been my stunt double for 5 years now, and she's pretty awesome. She has a weird accent because she's Australian, so you guys should meet her. Can't believe you haven't met her yet. This is Kylie. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Don't be mad at me for videotaping you. This ain't
Well,
your
it's
first
usually
rodeo.
your face if it's the camera.
But you know, if you notice, she looks just like me, so technically it could be your face.
Normally this is what they see, isn't it?
Lots of hair.
Just for that instance. Yeah. With a rock.
Am I dead yet?
Well, you're about to be in a grand fashion.
But then can you run afterwards?
Looking,
the back.
looking good, by the way. It's more of a cowardly act for me to shoot you in the back than for you to.
Do a first
Only
team
because
rehearsal.
this
Good morning,
Okay.
sir.
Oh, good morning.
First
Good
team
morning.
rehearsals in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Flare gun.
David, the first
Nameless.
AD. Yes. Do
Now
I
we
get
call
to
him
shoot?
He's now quasi-nameless. And you'll
Quasi-nameless?
see why very shortly.
Okay. Okay. Am I actually shooting the flare gun today?
Yes.
That's
in
great.
this shot, sir.
Perfect. I'm ready.
Here we go. First team rehearsal.
All right.
Oh, here's the bus. This is the Vickers gun. Dun dun dun. Really awesome. I don't get to shoot it. No, I get a very girly sniper rifle and a handgun. However, I did get to carry the Tommy gun, which was awesome.
No. Here we go. I'm going on the bus to shoot nameless. Ha ha. Now, what is this rig? What is that?
Oh, that's a holotron. It's a remote detonating device.
Oh, is he getting detonated in this, Dieter?
No, no. This is usually what we use for detonating the squibs and any kind of explosives or anything.
Oh, okay.
This one, what is our gag? There's a couple bullet holes in the front.
Bullet hit, bullet hit, bullet hit, bullet hit.
So there's going to be bullet hits on the outside of the bus, and they're going to be ignited with that thing.
Just that one. Just that one. 12 shots.
There's the director.
Alright, so John, on this one, you're just rummaging through your bag, and there's going to be a shot that goes off. Just want to make sure that we
React to the shot.
react to the shot.
약간 고개를 이렇게 올려줄 때 총 쏘니까 이렇게 약간 그 동작을 좀 크게.
그러면 이걸 찾으면서
찾으면서 이렇게 보다가.
Alright, so what we like to do is just have you sort of just make your movements a little bit bigger when you're sort of looking through your bag.
Mhm.
Look through your bag, look up, and then boom. So sort of give us those levels in your body movement.
Yes, sir.
오다가 이렇게 약간 고개 들을 때 빵.
And then you just want to shoot him as soon as you see him come up. Boom. That's sort of your cue to shoot.
Oh, the lens cap is on. That's smart. So this is Peter Stormare.
Sick, so I was not allowed to hang out with anybody.
Oh no, camera shy. This one.
Yeah.
This one's good. So tell us once again why you want to be shot in the ass. Because you don't
I've
want
never been shot in my ass before.
But you've been through a wood chipper.
I put people through a wood chipper, but I really want to be shot in my ass.
I think it would be great.
It would leave a funny smile on the audience. I think. Like in my butt cheek.
In the butt cheek, right
Yeah,
here. Rodrigo, what do you think of this? This is Rodrigo Santoro.
Yeah, he's never been shot in the ass.
Oh, God. He has a gun. Back to Peter.
What's that?
You fag your Georgette, the ordinary gun.
No, Georgette's already. I've already lost Georgette. That's why I'm firing with the flare.
I can't see on the monitor, that's why I'm asking you. If you...
No, I'm just firing the flare gun in this shot.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
George, that was the script supervisor. Georgette is the 50 caliber gun I fired, but I've already lost that out the window. So now I'm left to fight off the bad guys with my flare gun and my shield, which is really not as heavy as it looks. How do you open this? There. You just put that in there, but see, if the camera's looking down the barrel, they can see that there's nothing in there, but I'm sure they'll give me a dummy round to put in there. Yes, sir.
There you go, sir. Dummy inside of it.
And this can, I can fire. Okay. Okay, cool. See, there's the dummy round. Now I look legit as shit. All right. We got that part of it, hopefully. We're getting ready to blow Dieter up with the flare gun. And I was in my trailer and I almost missed it. And so I ran down to set to see it. Dieter's talking to the director, Kim Jee-woon, and Tommy, his translator, about getting blown up. I know everyone at home thinks I'm the one firing the flare gun, but I guess I'm not.
No, somebody else will really be.
Yeah, someone with talent. So now we will wait for them to say action. Why are you getting blood on that, Dieter?
Well, I got shot like a minute earlier.
In the ding-ding?
Yeah.
Oh. This is me. And that's Dieter. No one else is on the bus with me. All the action's out front.
Here, cameras are set. Ready, and action.
Finally, you killed me.
Yes, finally. Great job, buddy. The sparks came right in at me.
Really? I didn't see it.
The camera went whoop for a second. It looked great. Great job.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Ray? Is that you?
Frank, what are you doing here?
I sleep here.
This is the pharmacy.
No. You specifically told me not to go to the pharmacy. Oh, shit. Shit. I'm in the pharmacy. When did we get a 24-hour pharmacy? Someone broke in? You think I broke in? Wait, that really hurts, man.
Let's get you out of here. Come on, Frank. Come on.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm sorry, Ray. I thought I could get away.
You didn't have to do this, Frank. I told you so many times. I help you no matter what you need.
What are you gonna do to me, Sheriff?
I was going to take you home.
Okay.
But now, I think it's better you spend the weekend in jail.
No.
To sober up.
No,
Oh, yeah, you need that.
No.
Oh, yes, you need it.
No. All right.
Come on, let's go.
No.
Let's go.
No.
Okay, give me the pills.
No.
You don't need this, Frank. Give me the pills, Frank.
No.
You don't need it.
You just don't know what it's like, man. Getting older is... I'm losing it, you know? Huh? You do know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I hate you, Ray. Are you mad?
No.
Did that at least hurt?
Yes.
The Arizona State Fair is opening up this Friday, and it goes until November 6th. Lots of rides, lots of food, and lots of fun. Don't go broke attending the Arizona State Fair. This is Christy, who's with the State Fair, and she's going to tell us about some amazing discounts to help us all save money.
Absolutely. Opening day, for example, $1 admission, 5 Great time to go. Regular price is $10 for adults, $5 for kids and seniors, but we have several days of free admission hours. For example, on Thursdays from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Totally free.
First time I heard the name Gabriel Cortez, I was working a joint task force south of the border. I was partnered with the one honest cop in Mexico City, Diego Morales. He'd just gotten out of the academy. Didn't take shit from nobody, including me. So, this one night, Cortez, he walks into this nightclub and his girl catches his eye. Walks over to her and says he wants her to come back to his place. He's gonna fuck her brains out.
Nice pickup line.
You gotta understand, Cortez is third generation cartel boss. He's untouchable. So when this girl tries to protest, tell him that she's gonna be married in a week, Cortez, he just laughs, slaps her in the face. Doesn't matter to Cortez that this girl's fiance is sitting right there. So when the fiance gets up and tells Cortez that he's a cop, Cortez, he just laughs louder, harder. Nobody stands up to him. But Diego Morales, he did. So Cortez kills him right there on the spot. Pistol whipped him to death right in front of his fiancée.
You've been waiting a long time for this day.
Yeah, I have. Believe it.
We're ready.
Great.
Talk to me.
Seems like we're in business.
Good. The road runs straight through the town. Make sure it's clear.
Don't you worry. It's gonna be the fun part. By the way, drive safely.